Alright, what is up, boys? We're back again with another video today. Yesterday we did Jin Si. Today we are doing Changli. Talking about her 3 best weapons. There's not these are the top 3 in the game. I included one purple and I made sure to put it in a purple box, obviously the 4-star. I put it in a purple box this time because some people didn't realize that the video on yesterday, I think the Autumn Trace was a 4-star. Some people didn't realize. So this time I have it in a purple box, got a nice little purple name for it. So yeah, as long as you see this part right here, the rest of the video is going to be in the yellow box like everything else, but for this part, it's just going to be in a purple just to make it obvious to everybody. You can see we're going to be comparing these 3 weapons right here for Changli to see which one is better. Just to be clear on something, I wanted to talk about her forte because these things are inherent skills because these things are very important. So for the one on the left, you can stack up to 20% fusion. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to only use 10% of it, right, to keep it fair, because you're not always going to be at 20%. So we're only going to be using 10% of the 20 that you can get. But the one on the right, we're going to be using everything because you simply get it all for clicking one button. So obviously, we're going to be using all of that. But the one on the left, we're only using 10 out of the 20%. Now, here we are. I wanted to talk about her inherent skill. Well, I guess we just talked about it, but I just wanted to point it out one more time on the right side. The 10%, you see we have it on the right. So this means it was added in, and we're not going to use the other 10. I just want to make sure it was clear so people don't get confused if I have like my stats look a bit weird. So this is what the stat line is going to be looking like. This is our attack with 2036. Pretty goddamn good. Obviously, crit value stays the same literally as like all these videos as long as I'm using the same stat line. My crit ratios are going to look the exact same. As you can see, we have the 86% skill damage because this goddamn weapon gives a fucking 56%, which is absolutely cracked. And then we go down, so we got 120 fusion because we are running double fusion for Changli because she has a lot of attack. Her base attack is also very high. So yeah, her attack is not that needed when I run your double fusion. So what is it going to be looking like? Obviously, we're going to be using Verena for this test with the turtle. We won't be using anything else because we don't know what teams people are going to run her in. We're just simply going to show it with Verena, what the numbers are going to be looking like. Obviously, depending on what character you put in your team, if you want to use her sub DPS, main DPS, whatever the fuck, whatever thing you want to do, obviously her numbers are going to change, right? So I just wanted to do it with Verena because this character and Baiji pretty much give the same type of damage buff, so yeah. As you can see, these are all the echoes we're going to be using in the bottom left of our screen here. I've felt like I've been very fair with these echoes. As you can see on the 3 costs, there's only 2 crit value on them, on separate 1 each. One's 7.5 crit rate, one is 12.5 crit damage. 12.5 crit damage is an absolute shit low roll. That's like the lowest you can get. And the 7.5 crit rate is literally below mid value because crit rate can go up to I think 10.1 or something like that. On Ghost Rider over here, we only have 15% crit damage, and obviously we have 7 attack on both of them, but 7 attack, as again, 7 attack is absolute shit roll, that's the lowest you can get, and 15% crit damage is, I think, a little bit below mid, maybe like by a literal 1 below mid or something like that. It's a little bit below mid, because crit damage can go from 12 to, I think, 21, so yeah. I feel like I've been very fair with these, and then on the 1 cost, since these are a lot easier to get, we have 2 crit value on them both, and the crit value on them is also low rolled again. So trying to make it very fair so anybody can see the damage and you don't have to have like absolute perfect artifacts or whatever the fuck to get good damage. Alright, let's get on into the rest of the video. Here we are with this weapon. As you can see, nothing really changed other than the skill damage. That is because these weapons are literal identical, other than like crit rate, crit damage, but obviously how crit value works is you just double your crit rate, and that's what it should be in crit damage, which is why the crit damage on this is 48.6, crit rate on this is 20. You guys get it? 24.3. So the only difference is this weapon gives energy recharge, which is almost like very bad. It's like this weapon's giving 56% skill damage. This weapon's giving energy recharge. So other than that, these weapons are absolutely identical. So I'm pretty sure some people already realized. So if the skill doesn't take skill damage, this weapon is going to be identical to her main one. Problem is, Changli relies on a shit ton of skill damage, right? But yeah, other than that, these weapons are literally the exact same. So as you can see, the crit value stays the same, and the only thing that changes is that the Echo in the bottom left, the Ghost Rider, he is now 44 crit damage instead of 44 crit rate. And obviously that was factored in. Same crit status. Obviously, gotta keep it fair because, I mean, these 2 weapons have crit value, right? So they obviously keep the same attack. Only thing that changes, skill damage. As you can see with this weapon right here, it has lower attack, even though it has like a shit ton of attack. And the reason for that is because the base attack is so low. Even with all that, it still doesn't keep up to the 5 stars, which is very bad. So I mean, as you can see, it's just an overall worse weapon. There is like literally no benefit, but this is, I think, the strongest 4-star you're going to be getting. So this is the one you're going to have to use if you don't have any of these other 5 stars right here. You see, nothing really too crazy. Crit great, 54, crit damage 108, 1-to-2 ratio, same old. Damage is lower, very unfortunate. This weapon is the strongest. For this weapon to be the strongest 4-star, it's a bit unfortunate. And this is what we're going to be looking like. So right here we have all the ground basic attacks. We're going to be seeing, so for actually I should explain. So for the ground basic attacks, what I did is I just smushed all the numbers together, everything all in one. And then I just calculated it. So all 1 to 4, this is what it's going to be looking like, 26,118. That's what it's going to be looking like. So if you're wondering why there isn't more, this isn't one auto attack, obviously. This is all 4 in 1. Same thing with the air basic attacks, a little bit lower damage, but yeah, all the things in one. And I've been getting some good feedback from you guys, so I want to thank y'all for that as well. I've been trying to fix the layout a little bit so it looks a little bit more clean. I also removed a bunch of the 0.5465, whatever after the numbers, because it was very unnecessary. I just wanted to show it just to make sure people see. But again, it's like taking up a lot of clutter on the screen and it makes it look worse. So thank y'all for the good feedback. I'm going to be trying to implement them as I make more videos. As you can see, this is a true sight on the right side right here. You can take a look at that. True sight, and see, pretty decent damage, 32k, 23k, 14k. And remember guys, this is all average damage. And there is no support, anybody buffing her here other than Verena, right? So this is pretty goddamn good damage for just Verena, not gonna lie. Very solid. Actually, before I go on, I should explain this for anybody who wants to know. All I did to get this damage, by the way, I will explain it once, and I won't explain it throughout the rest of the video just so I don't take up too much time. What it is, it's you have the motion value running through your attack. Right here is our crit value right here. Since we're fighting an enemy on equal level, we're going to be doing 50% damage, less damage to them. This is right here is our damage bonus, 2.50. Since it's not a skill, it doesn't get the extra damage bonus. As you can see, when it gets the skill damage bonus over here, it's 3.606. And then since every enemy has a natural 10% damage reduction, we're only doing 0.9. And we run that through Verena's Deepen, which is the last number at the end right here. Well, I just wanted to explain that once for anybody that really wanted to know how it works. So what we're looking at right here. So again, the Emerald of Genesis is literally equal to this weapon with everything, as long as it doesn't take skill damage. If it takes skill damage, it loses by 20%. If it doesn't take skill damage, it is equal. Honestly, there's kind of an argument to say it's like a little bit better for ult damage because it comes with energy recharge, so you can get your ult up a little bit quicker. But I mean, it's only like 13, so there's no real way to calculate that, right? There's too much that goes on. There's no way to calculate it. But I mean, you could argue to say it's a little bit better because you could probably ult more, but that would depend on rotations in the teams and all sorts of different stuff, right? So there's no real way to talk about it. As you can see, if it doesn't take skill damage, they're absolutely equal. And for last but not least right here, yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. If it takes skill damage, this weapon is literally weaker by 40%, which is absolutely horrendous, which is a bit unlucky. But if it's not skill damage, it is honestly only 19% weaker, which is not horrible for a 4-star weapon. But unfortunately, Changli relies on a lot of skill damage, and to be 40% weaker, it is pretty goddamn bad. I mean, the weapon is just all around worse in every single scenario. Right here, we have our Radiance of Fealty, which is our Liberation, and we have our Forte Circuit. As you can see, your Liberation is hitting a fat goddamn 90k over there on the left. And remember, this is only through Verena. That shit is kind of clean by Bay. Very, very good damage. And her Forte is going to be hitting around 58,922. Now, for this thing at the bottom right here, I don't know if I'm stupid as fuck, or I can't read, or I'm tired, or I'm just dumb, but it says when Changli releases heavy attack, flame, and sacrifice within 10 seconds, her attack is increased by 25, after which Fiery Feather ends. So to get Fiery Feather, it's after you ult, you get it. So I don't know what. It could just be a bad translation. That's what I'm assuming. It says when Changli releases heavy attack, flame, and sacrifice within 10 seconds. So that would mean within 10 seconds of using her ultimate, you'd have to use it. Then she'd get a 25% attack buff, and then this Fiery Feather would end. So first of all, it doesn't say how long the attack buffs last for, and if you're getting all that attack after you ult and you use your Forte Circuits, it's fucking useless. So I don't really understand what they're trying to do. What I'm somewhat assuming is like when you click your ultimate for 10 seconds, you're in Fiery Feather mode and you have 25% damage. So just in case that is what they meant, I just ran the numbers for that down here again. So the numbers at the bottom right here is with Fiery Feather included. As you can see, with the extra 25% attack, you can see our attack went up from 2,636 to 2,899, right? So that's the only thing that really changed. And you can see the number of the damage. We got an extra like 9,000 out of this one. Same thing over here, right? Forte went up by a decent amount of damage as well. So I did, this is like just literally extra. I just wanted to make sure because I'm not sure how it worked. And I didn't want to like throw false information at you guys. So what I did is that if it works how I think it does, and we're getting the 25% to both of them from clicking it, then this is what the numbers are going to be looking like. If it doesn't, the numbers are going to be looking like this up top. I just wanted to make sure that was very clear so nobody is confused. And obviously, I mean, we can probably just get to the rest of it. You guys get the gist. Emerald of Genesis, this is what we're going to be seeing equal over here because the skill multiplier doesn't change. And when the skill multiplier does change, damage will change with it, as you can see. And obviously this weapon, 19% worse on anything that isn't a skill. Anything that is a skill, 40%. Absolutely horrendous 40%. But here we are. I wanted this page could use some work. I didn't know how to set it up so I could explain it to you guys, but yeah, as you can see, her signature weapon, top tier, absolutely goddamn amazing. It is gonna be just peak. I mean, it's 19% better than, or 20% better than the Emerald Genesis, and this is only on skill. I want it to be clear, guys. I don't know how her rotation is. I don't know what her damage split is or what's gonna do doing what percentage for her. This is specifically skill. Is a 20% damage difference. Now, on anything that's not a skill, it's going to be equal. Just wanted to make that clear again. And as for the Commando of Conviction, which is the purple weapon in our video today, it is 40% worse than anything that takes a skill, and anything that doesn't take a skill, it is 19% worse. So if it takes skill damage, 40% nerf. If it doesn't take skill damage, 19% nerf. And that's going to be the end of this video. Again, if you guys have any feedback or anything you want to let me know for the next video or to make the videos a little bit cleaner or anything like that, please feel free to leave it in the comment. If you guys like the video, drop a comment on which one of these weapons you're going to be pulling for, because honestly, the Emerald of Genesis is pretty goddamn good. Only a 20% damage nerf? Bro, that's not bad. You're going to be able to clear absolutely every content in the game easily with that weapon, and it is on the standard banner, so we got a selector, so people don't really have an excuse if you don't have this weapon, you chose not to get it, right? But yeah, if you guys want to, you can join the Discord, and if you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe. It helps an absolute shit ton. We grew a shit ton yesterday, boys. We got like over 200 subs, and I am absolutely, you guys don't understand how excited I am. I'm so happy. Thank you guys very much for the support. The amount of like love and stuff I got on those comment section was absolutely amazing, and I'm excited to make more videos for you guys. And with that all being said, I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.